Welcome back to Spreadgiver Homestead. I'm Nikki, and here is your question of the week. So we got a question from a viewer that said, should I be buying rice and beans in bulk? And if so, how much should I be buying? So we get a lot of food storage questions, especially here lately, and not just for human food, but also for buying animals. The world's a scary place right now, right? Prices are going up, we're dealing with inflation, and people are getting ahead of it or trying to get ahead of it by stockpiling. So this person was asking about rice and beans, and if you go on any prepper website, this is the first thing they tell you, right? Rice and beans, rice and beans. And I should follow this up with the other part of this where the lady actually said, we don't like rice and beans. We don't eat a lot of rice and beans. And that kind of made me go, okay, stop. Don't buy things out of a panic if you don't eat them. We don't eat a lot of rice and beans, I won't lie. Beans we do more of because I like to cook a lot of Mexican food. So black beans and refried beans and that kind of stuff. But we don't store a lot of kidney beans and that because we don't eat them. I mean, it's not going to do me any good to have 25 pounds of pinto beans if I don't eat them. And I say that because we grow a lot of protein here. Rice, I store virtually nothing. I'm not a big rice eater, never have been. Kanan likes it. We do every now and then. But you're not going to see me buy 25 pounds of rice. It's just not going to happen. That being said, if you want to buy 10 pounds of rice and beans to have on hand because that makes you feel better, go ahead. I would rather see you stock up on things that you do eat. That makes far more sense. Save the rice and beans for people who actually want it. If you're not going to eat it, it's a waste. Contrary to popular belief, they do not last forever. Beans progressively get harder and harder and harder until they're really tough to cook. And if you don't cook with dried beans regularly, there's a learning curve there. The number of people I've seen in some of my groups that literally throw it in a pot and cook it for a little bit want to know why they broke a tooth on it because they didn't understand the whole soaking, boiling thing. I mean, there's a thing, a strategy that you have to go through to actually use dried beans. It's probably not worth panic buying and buying a bunch of dried beans if that's not your thing. So is it worth buying? I'm going to say no, and I'm sure I'm going to get some prepper hatred there. But like I said, it's just not worth it if you don't use it. Now, if you do use a lot of rice and beans, just go in and store them right. Make sure that you're using either oxygen absorbers. Well, can't even talk. Oxygen absorbers, or vacuum seal them, or whatever you can do to keep the air out of them, and try to remember to rotate and use them timely. That's kind of the big thing. When we do have some, I keep them in glass jars and vacuum seal the air out, and I like that method a whole lot better than anything else we've tried. But yeah, it's kind of up to you. What do you eat? If you're not into it, don't buy it. All right, so there you go. There's my answer for your question of the week. And if you have other questions, leave them down in the comments. You can always email them in to me, srhomestead@yahoo.com. And we'll see you guys next week. Happy homesteading.